Who had the weirdest trial of the week? Why are Americans confused by a pink bunny? And is the dimensional merge actually happening? Find out on Week in Weird. My name is GiBi and welcome to Week in Weird, where we discuss some oddities that are going on in the news this week. We're going to start with the hearing of Christian Weston Chandler, which took place a couple days ago on November 18th. By hearing that took place, I mean it didn't actually happen and it got a continuance until February 3rd of next year. A continuance is when they continue to make us wait for something to actually happen. This information is verified for us by the Quickie, and we can see that it is in fact taking place now on February 3rd, 2022. Chris has now been in jail for several months, and we'll have to wait several more. It might be interesting to note that as time goes on, this word here is being changed in the article. When it was first written, it said fans, then it was changed to weens, and now it once again says fans. Speaking of hearings, Shadman's hearing happened the next day. We have a couple more details now about this. Shadman was arrested on October 26th, but the public didn't really find out until Kiwi Farms tweeted about it. Insider reports. The Twitter account for the internet forum Kiwi Farms tweeted out purported documents confirming Prejean's arrest on October 26th. I have no idea how to actually pronounce his name. It looks like Prejean to me. Kiwi Farms, which started as a discussion board dedicated to online personality Christine Chandler, Chris Chan, who was arrested earlier this year on an incest charge, now bills itself as a community dedicated to discussing eccentric people. According to court documents obtained by Insider, Prejean was arrested by the Glendale Police Department on 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. He posted bail on November 10th, court records show. The charges are related to an alleged October 26th incident that took place in Los Angeles County, according to court records. So this all happened in late October, and we didn't find out about it until mid-November. Apparently there was actually a court appearance in October. It says Prejean was not present during an October 28th court appearance, but his counsel declared a doubt as to his mental confidence. Per the documents, Prejean was subject to examination and a mental competency hearing on Monday morning, and appeared in court for further proceedings on Friday morning. It was not immediately clear when he would next appear in court. In case you're wondering about his actual mental state, here's a tweet that he put up. This is the first thing he tweeted after the news broke of what happened. "No time to explain. Don't worry about me. Am better than you have and always will be. Am pro. See you don't wanna be ya." So that's fantastic. On a slightly more serious note, we're now going to talk about another trial that took place this week. One of the things that I don't want to ever talk about on this channel is politics, like actual politics. If something funny happens in the realm of politics, then I'll talk about it. But I never want there to be a discussion on ongoing partisan political topics. So when I say that we're going to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, I don't mean we're going to discuss the pros and cons about what actually happened during it. I just mean something funny happened during it, and we have to talk about that. It's hard to kind of even talk about the Rittenhouse hearing without being politically biased, so I'm just going to say that if you don't know what it is, do your own research, because any detail that I add or leave out could be seen as bias. What we're going to be talking about is how utterly incompetent the prosecutor is. Like, he was laughably bad. He was so laughably bad that the people who disagreed on what the outcome of the trial should be all agreed that he was, should be disbarred. That's how incompetent this man is. There were conspiracy theories flying from both sides about why he was performing so poorly in court. Like, the judge yelled at this man several times, and the defense asked for multiple mistrials. Now, remember, this has nothing to do with the legitimacy of the arguments on either side. It's just how poorly the lawyer conducted himself. Okay, so this might need context for people who aren't American, but the lawyer tried to imply that Kyle not wanting to talk to the police after he'd been charged showed guilt. This is very bad. We have an entire amendment in the Constitution that says that you have a right to remain silent. You don't need to incriminate yourself during criminal hearings for various reasons. If you're just a random schmo, you know you have the right to remain silent. And this lawyer tried to imply that Kyle remaining silent indicated that he was guilty, and the judge yelled at him.
I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that, and it gives, well, I'll leave it at that. So I don't know what you're up to.
That's like advanced levels of stupid. The clip that's being shared around online most, I think, is the one where the lawyer tried to imply that Kyle shot at people because he plays Call of Duty. So I'm gonna play that clip.
Isn't it true when you would hang out with Dominic Black, you'd play Call of Duty and other first-person shooter video games?
Sometimes.
And those are games in which you use weapons like AR-15s to pretty much shoot anybody who comes at you, correct?
It's a video game where two players are playing together. I don't really understand the meaning of your question, to be honest.
Isn't one of the things people do in these video games try and kill everyone else with your guns?
Yeah, in the video game, it's just a video game, it's not real life.
I'm not a big fan of cringe. I'm more a fan of weird, but that was cringe. You posted cringe on main. And then slightly more boring, but actually pertinent to the case, is that it's American law that the prosecutor needs to share all of their evidence with the defense, so that before the trial, the defense can come up with a defense. And there was this video of the attack that the prosecutor had, and they shared this video with the defense, but the video that they shared was a lower resolution to the point where the defense could not make out certain details in the video. And so when the prosecutor brought up those details, the defense lawyer got really pissed because they hadn't been able to come up with a defense to them because it hadn't been shared with them. And that is malpractice, and so he tried to get another mistrial over that. A mistrial was not granted. It went to the jury. The jury decided he was innocent on all counts, so it didn't end up mattering. But yeah, this prosecutor just did not do his job. The funniest part, which I have saved for last, is this picture. I don't know why the prosecutor decided he needed to bring the gun into the courtroom. But I do know, because I was a Boy Scout, and so I learned this when I was 11 years old, is that you don't point a gun at people. If you're holding a gun, you keep your finger off the trigger. You don't put your finger on the trigger till you're ready to shoot. You never point a gun at anything. I am surprised that the guards in the courtroom did not tackle this man to the ground when he lifted the rifle up. This happened like 2 weeks after Alec Baldwin accidentally killed someone because he pointed a gun at them that he didn't know was loaded. Like, this should not happen. The word incompetent is not strong enough of a word to explain this lawyer's conduct in this case. It's baffling. It's truly baffling. There's other more boring stuff, like the prosecutor called witnesses that helped the defendant's case because they answered and said that the defendant was innocent. But that's not as bad as, you know, pointing a gun at people. I really just feel like this lawyer's performance needs to be immortalized forever. It's really just that entertaining. And with that, we're going to move on to something a little less serious than America's crumbling faith in its legal system. And we're going to talk about a pink bunny. Now again, this is going to require a little extra context for non-Americans. Here in America, we have this mascot. This is the Energizer Bunny. And he's a little guy, and he just keeps going and going and going, and that's the motto of the company. And he's a little fuzzy bunny, and he drums on his drum, and you see him during Christmas time a lot in commercials. It's very nostalgic here in America. Well, Americans, other countries have this bunny. This is the Duracell Bunny, as opposed to the Energizer Bunny. So Energizer actually came up with the idea for a pink bunny mascot first in the 1970s. In the late 80s, Energizer made a parody commercial of the Duracell Bunny, and they made their Energizer Bunny parody commercial. Because of Energizer's success with this new mascot, which again was a parody of Duracell's mascot, Duracell decided to bring back their Duracell Bunny mascot. And so we then had two competing rival companies both using pink bunnies as their campaign mascots for batteries. This obviously led to a legal battle because Duracell believed that they had the only right to using a pink bunny in their commercials, but they had let their trademark lapse because they hadn't used him in commercials in like 10 years, so Energizer had swept them up, and they were currently being successful with them. Again, currently being the late 80s, early 90s. So they went to court, and the settlement was that Energizer would be allowed to use their pink bunny in the United States and Canada, and Duracell would be able to use their bunny in the rest of the world. I guess because of the internet and just the nature of online content, we here in America are now getting advertisements using the Duracell bunny. So I was watching a YouTube video, and an ad came up, and this terrifying monstrosity of a CGI bunny came up. And so of course I thought that this was the Energizer bunny who had been redesigned for the modern era. But no, this is the Duracell bunny. And for some reason, they're now airing his ads in the United States. And, yes, creepy. Very creepy. And I didn't know any of this story until this happened, and so I just really felt like I wanted to share it with you. So yeah, don't be surprised if when you're on YouTube or just on the internet in general, you start seeing two competing pink bunnies everywhere advertising batteries for you. Alright, we're gonna zoom out from this video, which is on the official Duracell UK YouTube channel. And we're gonna put our gaze down here towards the bottom, where you will see that there are 785 likes. And how many dislikes? I have no idea. In case you're somehow unaware, YouTube has decided to remove public dislikes from the entire platform. It used to be optional if you wanted to remove public likes and dislikes. They have now removed just dislikes across the entire website, and you cannot opt back into them. They say that this is to stop bullying. This is a lie. This is allegedly a lie. Sorry. I've had experience on a lot of different websites. Some of them have dislike buttons, the way that YouTube used to back when it was like, what was it called? Google Plus? That's what it was called? No one liked that. It had upvotes and downvotes. Reddit has that. Many websites have those. What don't have those are Facebook and Twitter. And also modern YouTube comments also don't have those. When you downvote something on modern YouTube, it just feeds into the algorithm. It doesn't actually display that there's one less net vote on whether it's a good comment or not, the way that Reddit does. If there's one thing I've noticed about platforms that have dislike buttons and platforms that don't, it's that the platforms that don't are significantly more toxic. And here's my theory. I'm gonna get up on my little soapbox. If I see a comment and it's on a website that allows for dislikes, and it's either stupid or it's incorrect or it's mean, I don't know, I will dislike it. And the effect that that has is that it tells people who come across the comment that there is a counter opinion towards the words that's actually in the message. So the person said the message, and then other people disagreed with the message by downvoting. Nobody actually has to get into an altercation. No one has to argue with them, because the fact that they're downvoted into oblivion means that the vast majority of people disagree. If I come across a comment that's mean, stupid, or wrong, and I can't downvote it, then the only way for me to feel good about myself and to feel like I've stopped its proliferation across the internet is to leave a comment and tell the person that they're wrong, or that they're mean, or that they're stupid. This has led to phenomenons like on Twitter where you see ratios. Because there's no dislike button on Twitter, if you want to leave a negative interaction, you'll usually just comment the word ratio, or else you'll curse them out or call them dumb or something like that. Because on Twitter, if something has more comments than it has retweets and likes, that's an indication that it's a tweet that the majority of people do not agree with. That is a tweet that, were it posted on Reddit, it would probably have more dislikes than likes. That is significantly more toxic than a downvote. Having people come into your comments and say, "I hate you," is significantly more toxic than a downvote. And removing the ability for people to leave downvotes is going to encourage more people to come into your comments and insult you. So again, I really just think that this is the absolute worst system that YouTube could have possibly implemented. It is failing on every other site that it's on, but I'm sure that it's really good for their algorithm for whatever reason, so that's why they're doing it. It's absolutely not about bullying and the creators, and it's totally about the website itself. We're just gonna roll on into the next topic. Budweiser, the beer, is doing an annual competition where they're looking for a dog mascot. It's called Pupweiser. The Pupweiser contest officially ends on December 15th. so you'll want to submit your most adorable pic ASAP for the opportunity to catch your pooch on some festive beer cans in 2022. Yeah, so you just go on Twitter and you post a picture of your dog with hashtag Pupweiser contest and at Budweiser USA, and they donate money, and then there's cute dogs. So you get to see cute dogs. So theoretically, they should announce the winner of the Pupweiser contest around December 15th. If that happens, I will definitely be announcing it and showing off this beautiful pupper, because that's the kind of thing that we do here. We shame Shadman, and we like dogs. And we change the orientation of the camera every episode, so it's either facing on me or it's facing this way. And finally, to wrap this up and to bring it full circle back to Chris Chan, we're going to be talking about the Dimensional Merge. By the Dimensional Merge, I mean whatever on God's green earth this is. This is Warner Brothers Multiverses fighting game. Warner Brothers, of course, recently released their movie Space Jam: A New Legacy, which was a just depressing look into corporate media. They decided to shove in references to basically every intellectual property that they owned, and now they're doing that for video games. So in this game, you can play as Arya Stark, Batman, Bugs Bunny, Finn the Human, Garnet, Harley Quinn, Jake the Dog, Rain Dog, I think that's an original character, an OC, Shaggy, Steven Universe, Superman, Tom and Jerry, Wonder Woman, and more who have not been announced yet. I got nothing. At least with the Nicktoons game that came out earlier this year, all the characters were, you know, Nicktoons. And with Smash Bros, all the characters are video game characters. Here, we have Bugs Bunny and Arya Stark. And there's a lot of rumors that Rick from Rick and Morty is going to be another character. So that's, I don't know, mildly upsetting. This is going to be a free-to-play game, so you don't actually have to buy it. There's probably going to be, like, season passes and stuff like that you would find on other free games like Fortnite. It's coming to PS4, PS5, Xbone, Xbox Series X, and PC at some point in the future. And, yeah, I mean, we're in the era of crossovers. I kind of said it sarcastically a couple videos ago, but, like, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer also came out this week, and that's all about crossing over multiple universes. We have things like this. We have the Space Jam movie. I don't know what our society's current obsession is with crossovers, but I think it might have to do with how basically all intellectual properties are being bought up by one of very few corporations nowadays. There's only like, what, 6? Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, Viacom. I can't even name the other ones. Apparently, the idea for this happened because people kept spamming that they wanted Ultra Instinct Shaggy in one of the Mortal Kombat games. So the developers of that Mortal Kombat game decided to make a fighting game where you could play as Shaggy and he would have his Ultra Instinct form. And that's just great. I said this last week in reference to the Burger King crypto, but I actually don't think that there's a problem with this. I think that this is a fantastic idea from a marketing standpoint. I just think it's really weird. That's why it's on This Week in Weird, or whatever I called this show. Thank you for watching. On the last video in the comments, nobody seemed to like the idea of calling this show WIW. They decided to just pronounce it the way that you would pronounce those letters next to each other. The problem is, I have no idea how they did that. Wiwi, wowie, wee, waiwu. So if you have an idea for how WIW should be pronounced, please leave a phonetic spelling in the comment section. But don't leave a dislike because it won't show up and no one will know. Also, don't leave a dislike in general because this is a really good video, and so you should leave a like instead. You can follow me on Twitter at GiBi_Devin, and I will see you next week.